Hey guys, good morning. I am about ready to do a quick 4.5 miles, trying to keep it easy, somewhere within that heart rate zone 3 area. We'll see. It's a beautiful day, currently 32 degrees, slight wind, but not bad. And that's it. That's my update. I slept better last night. The 2-year-old woke up at 12:30, but Kyle took care of him, and then he slept again. He didn't wake up again until 5:30, so that's a win. That's such a major win in our house. So I'm about to hit up 4.5 miles right now, easy pace, trying to keep the heart rate zone to heart rate zone 3, and then stretch and see what else the day has in store. So I'll see you later. Let's do it. Running in a heart rate zone is difficult. You know, it's hard to run slow enough to stay in the zone that I'm looking for, and I don't like it, but I'm gonna try to do it as best I can and learn to like it. I'm gonna learn to like it, yeah, because that'll help me to be a better runner in the future. Okay. Hey, so I'm back. And I'll be real, that was difficult. I don't know why it was so difficult. It felt just like, I think part of it was that the first half, I was overly concerned with my heart rate zone. So I just kept looking at what heart rate zone I was in, checking over and over and over and over again to make sure I was hitting zone 3. But it became mentally taxing after a while, and I was just like, I'm not having any fun, so just forget it, you know? So then I switched to just the normal screen on my Garmin where I can see distance, time running, and pace. And then I felt like I never looked at my watch again. And it was a much more enjoyable run. So I think the lesson here is to be mindful of my pace. Try to slow it down, because the slower I go means that I'm working less hard, and I will probably just hit that heart rate zone that I'm looking for automatically. So don't obsess and just be mindful of pace and how you feel, right? And that makes more sense. I am dressed too warmly. That was part of my problem as well. I'm dressed way too warmly. It said it was going to be like 32 degrees, but with a 7-mile-an-hour wind, and that usually means that the actual air temp is like, I don't know, 25. So I'm wearing my vest, but I didn't need my vest. I was sweating my buns off out there. So I think that was part of my problem too. Just like, why does this feel so hard? I'm over obsessing about my heart rate, and I'm overdressed. So anyway, I'm gonna go drink some water, continue my stretches, and enjoy the rest of the day. All right, I will see you later. So, no matter how difficult that run felt, it was productive. That's good. 4.53 miles, 9.02 minute mile pace. So here is the heart rate zones. I spent most of the time in zone 4, actually. The first mile was definitely zone 3, and then I got too frustrated. So anyway, the lesson is, don't focus too much on one thing, you know? When I broke my... When I had a stress reaction in my femur, I was definitely focused too much on form afterwards when I was recovering and trying to run again. And it just became like frustrating, and the runs became not fun. And so eventually I decided, you know, I'm just going to work on building strength in my glutes and core, something I call leg exercises that I do twice a week, and then running in a way that feels normal and natural to me, and just do that. Just run in a way that feels really good and natural. And since then, I've been injury free and have been loving running. I haven't been consumed with, oh, my form, because I was doing that when I first was in recovery from my leg injury. And those runs were terrible. They were not fun. It was just too much. I was thinking too much. I couldn't let my mind wander because I was so focused on my form. Today, I was so focused on my heart rate, on what zone I was in. And the first half of the run was just like, it was difficult because I couldn't let my mind wander and just like relax and use my run as what I normally do, which is kind of just a meditation, or like church. Sometimes I refer to running as church. I go to church 4 days a week, and my thoughts are the sermon. And today that sermon was interrupted by like, oh, what's my heart rate? And so it's just too much. It's too much for me. So I think, as I said, I'm just going to be mindful of my heart rate zone, or like, yeah, I'm going to be mindful of how my run feels. If it feels easy, it's probably easy. If it feels like I'm putting, if I'm trying too hard to go too fast or do too much, it's probably because that's what I'm doing. So I will stick with what feels easy and not focus so much on heart rate zone. Anyway, that's the lesson that I learned today, and that's thrilling. So next run is on Thursday, and that is a 3 miles with 4 intervals. So again, 30 seconds hard, 30 seconds easy. Do that 4 times in the 3 miles. And that's my run to work day too, so I'll be doing that on my run to work. Fantastic.
Hey guys. So I have long been on the quest to find my perfect running shoe. I've always been a fan of Nike. I have a really long, narrow foot, and I always felt like Nikes fit my foot the best. But I've tried some other shoes as well. After I had my son, on the day that I was given the go-ahead to go running again, I went to a running store and was fitted for a pair of shoes, and ended up with a pair of Brooks shoes. And they were just really hard and not fun to run in, and I feel like I ended up with plantar fasciitis because of them, and not the perfect shoe for me. I ran them in pairs of Nike Winflows, and those were fine. But then I came across the Nike Pegasus 35s, and those, for me, from the moment I stepped into them, I knew they were my holy grail of running shoes. I love them so much. But then I tried a pair of Adidas Ultraboost 19s simply based on looks, because I thought they were so pretty. So I ordered some, and the Nike Pegasus 35s, love at first wear. I fell in love immediately. The Adidas Ultraboost 19, it took 38 miles for me to realize that I loved those shoes. So I want to go over these 2 different shoes and talk about the pros and cons of each and what makes me love them. So the first shoe is Nike Pegasus 35. Pardon the dirt on here. But I really love the upper. So the upper is breathable, really good airflow in here, especially in the summertime when it's 90 degrees and humid. I think what matters most to me is the way that it reacts off the ground. It's so springy. When I first started running in these shoes, I felt myself popping off the ground, and that was super exciting. So it's firm in the forefoot and cushiony in the heel, and I think that's what really makes these things special for me. I've not tried, any of the Nike Next Percents or the Vaporfly or whatever. Those are a little too high end for my taste, and I actually just don't think I need them. But because I love the way that this shoe feels, I love that it does let in a good amount of airflow. I love that my heel doesn't slip. When I'm running, it feels very tight against my heel, and you know, it has an extra long tongue, I think, just to lock everything in. They're great for shorter distances, like 1 to 3 miles, as well as longer distances. When I was training for my half marathon, I wore these, and they have never not felt great. For me, these shoes fit so well, and they feel so great on the road, which is where I do 100% of my running. The Ultraboost 19s, however, it took a little bit. It took a few dates for me to realize that I was in love. However, I think that the soles, I find the soles, especially the heel, to be extra wide. And when I first started running in them, I found myself not kicking my calf, but kind of just like grazing it as I was running, and I don't do that in the Nikes. But also, again, it's a knit upper. It does let in some airflow, not as much as the Nikes, but it's breathable. It does kind of feel like a sock when you wear it, like a really cozy, snug sock, but not too snug. There's no blood flow restriction at all. It does have the patented, I don't know if it's patented, but the Adidas Ultraboost foam throughout the sole, and I think that's what gives it its pop as well. I labeled these in my Garmin app as my Rocket Mints because they're mint colored, and also the first few times I ran in them, I felt like I was running faster than in any other shoe that I had, and just unintentionally faster. The soles are, they're obviously road shoes. They're not made for trails or wooded terrain at all, but they do feel really grippy, especially in the rain. I've worn them a few times on slick surfaces, and they have done extremely well. So I have nothing but love for the Ultraboost 19, but it did take me a little bit of time to get there. I'm looking at the difference in heel right now between Pegasus and the Ultraboost, and the heel does stick out. I don't know, what is that, like ½ inch? So it's kind of no wonder that I'm hitting the Ultraboost on my calf as I'm running. And I read that they made the heel kind of fat to make up for just the construction of the midsole. So I hope this video was helpful. I don't know. This is my first time reviewing running shoes in a semi-articulate way. I just know what I like, and I know it feels good for me. So if you are looking for a new pair of running shoes, first I would say go to a running store and get fitted. If that doesn't work, I regularly read Runner's World and all of their reviews. They do such great, thorough reviews of running shoes. And I think that's where I first heard about the Nike Pegasus 35s, and the review really made me want to try it. And I'm so happy that I did, because it fits my foot really well, and I can't imagine a running shoe that could be better for me. Check online for reviews or other YouTube videos like this where people talk about what has worked for them. Obviously, I'm not you, and I have different feet than you, but hopefully this was helpful in some way. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time, either on the run or on the farm.